Yeah, I hope all of you are doing well there, right? Market has been, market has been really, really uncertain. But for those who are following JD Wealth Maker, right, I have already prepared you mentally that this is going to happen. All right, it is not a surprise for our community actually. All right, we are prepared for it. Okay, I think the only thing is that you know. Sometimes, right, when this kind of uncertainty happen, we need to be prepared. All right, so that's the reason why wallet management is very critical. All right, wallet management is very, very critical. We must prepare for the uncertainty. So before we start to trade, right, one of the important thing that we always emphasize is the wallet management. All right, so we must be able, to sustain, whatever uncertainty there is, and wallet management is one of the most important thing. Sometimes, right, if you don't have enough fund, that's where you will have a problem. Because please understand that in the battlefield, right, in the war zone, the enemy can continue to advance. So so if the enemy continue to advance, sometimes you can actually undermine, and you might be thinking that maybe the enemy will retreat because the enemy, has depleted their bullet. But nevertheless, high likely the enemy may have more bullet. They may continue to advance. But if they continue to advance and you don't have enough bullet, or what to say, you don't want to use your bullet yet, then you have to wait. You see that? So that is basically how the mindset in the war zone is. Okay. So, but it is it is what to say? It is unfortunate if you don't have sufficient bullet. All right. If your bullet is depleted, then it is unfortunate because you will be the first one will be shot dead. All right. So that is the reason why, right? If you look into JD Wealth Makers, JD Wealth Maker tactical strategy, all right, we try to make sure everyone's account is protected and safeguarded. All right. So from the JDXBOT, right, you can see that we requested, we want to make sure that everyone have 100% in their sub account, right, moving forward. So this is the reason why, because uh, that sub account requirement is actually your wallet management, right? So that account requirement actually help to push your liquidation away. So although yes, your sub account can get depleted, it doesn't matter because all your fund is now sitting in your main account. Because your fund is sitting in the main account, it actually safeguarded, your position. So that's the reason why, right? Please understand that the priority of JD Wealth Maker strategy is safeguarding the position first. Then only we prioritize on the profit. All right. So please understand, okay? Yes, it's true. Okay, market can go down, but let me ask you something. How long market can go down? At one point, it has to reverse. Now, please understand, sometimes the reversal can be very, very fast. Okay, it can be very, very fast. All right, the reversal can be very, very quick. All right, it can take people by surprise. Okay, because please understand that the institutions are actually waiting. Okay, they might have the fund, but they don't want to go in to buy yet. They are waiting for the right timing, for the right pricing. You see that? So things can happen very, very fast. In the split second, Bitcoin can move $10,000 up. So never underestimate what you are seeing, okay? Because this is how the market is at this time because of the institutions that are in. So the more institutions are dominating Bitcoin and Ethereum, they actually have the power to move the market. All right, they have the power to move the market. So that is what we are actually seeing. So please understand, we are not institution. We are probably just a small fish. Okay, we are not institution who can move the market. So if we are not the one who can move the market, then we need to leverage on the institution. You see that? But to do that, right, we must understand the wallet management strategy. Okay, so that's the reason why if you look into a lot of the technical analysis or those traders who follow the TA, a lot of them has already got liquidated. Okay, I think I have one account when the price went up, right, to around 106. This one account didn't close because it didn't hit the entry price. All the account closes, but this one user didn't close. And then the price now came down to around 88,000. Do you know that the price range was around 22,000 from his entry price? He is still actually in the game. He did not get liquidated yet. And his liquidation is 15,000. We are maintaining 15,000 points away, from the mark price. So that means that even if the price continued to go down, his liquidation will always be 15,000 points away from the mark price. So in that way, right, I don't think so anyone can get liquidated with the strategy that we have put in place. You see that? So this is important, okay? This is why I want you to understand. But JDXBOT is quite consistent in a way because it is run by the algorithm. It is an API. Now, JDXCopyMaster is different because JDXCopyMaster, in terms of the accounts, right, in terms of the funding, in terms of the top-up, it is still managed by the user. All right, so if the user don't have the fund to keep topping up, and if they don't set the fund, then they can get liquidated in the event if the market go against them. So not everyone will get liquidated, only those who don't have the advantage of the wallet, right? So if you don't have enough bullet in the war zone, not the whole team will get liquidated. Probably one or two will get liquidated. All right, but the problem is basically comes back to that individual funding requirement, right? So that's why I told you, right? If you want to go for $50, make sure you have $100 spare. So in that way, you can do top up at least twice. You see that? So if you want to go for $100, then make sure you got $200 spare. All right, so at least you can top up, double the amount. Okay, so in this way, right, it is quite impossible actually to get liquidated. All right, but nevertheless, please understand. Okay, sometimes, not every time, case by case, you can see that in the month of October we don't see that big movement, right? Market were moving sideways. We had a nice volatility, so it was great. But in the month of November, you see for the first 16 days it was great, and then now we had this huge movement of the price. So now we are waiting, right? I think some of us been waiting for 5 or 6 days. So this is the real market that we are trading. So if you want to really experience what real trading is, then this is it. All right, this is it. That's why I say, right, if anyone tell you they can give you a fixed return, where are they getting a fixed return when the market is volatile? I just don't understand. Unless it is a Ponzi scheme, they are taking in the new investors' money and keep paying you. But how long will this company sustain by lying that they are actually trading, but they are not trading? You see that? By here at JDXBOT or JDXCopyMaster, what you are experiencing is actually the real trading. So you are looking at the real waiting time, so and so on, right? So you can just imagine, right, the patience that is required. Okay, so these are just some of the important insight you need to understand. That's why I told you guys, trading is one of the best instrument, all right, to shape, and form your emotion, especially patience. All right, if there is one greater thing that has happened in my life, is actually this whole thing about patience, right? Because if you are a good trader and you have the patience, you know that at the end of it, right? Please understand that market punishes the impatient and market actually reward the patient. And crypto market, okay, especially a volatile market, is the instrument to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. Can you understand me? So if you are impatient, then your money is going to be transferred to the person who is being patient. Can you see that? So that's why waiting is so important. If you don't understand waiting in the war, you will never be able to understand trading is. Because if you are a sniper, although you are so skillful in the war zone, you have to wait for the right time to actually shoot that bullet, because you only have one bullet. You cannot make mistake with that one bullet. You see that? If you make a mistake with that one bullet, the enemy will know exactly your location and the enemy will come and look for you. So you have one bullet, all right? And you need to use that one bullet accurately. So that's why as a sniper, right, you have to wait for the right timing. And not only wait, at the time of the waiting, the sniper is evaluating the wind, is evaluating the position, is evaluating the velocity. So the sniper is actually studying the whole environment before the sniper actually pull the trigger. And that takes hours, sometimes days, all right, before that sniper even actually pull the trigger, only for that one bullet to kill or to shot the head of the enemy. Can you understand me? So this is important. So no matter how skillful you are, sometimes you have to wait for the right timing, all right? So this is important, okay? All right, great. I hope you are blessed, okay? It's just an introduction, okay? Just to help you understand, the situation that we are in. And this is, please understand, guys, when it comes to trading, right? Sometimes people think that it is a rosy road, wow, trading, right? I can make a lot of money and so on. Yes, you are right. You are right. You can make a lot of money if you really have the patience. But please understand that when it comes to crypto, right, it's a complete different ballgame. Now, the thing is that many years ago, right, crypto trading was probably much easier because we don't have the institution. But when you have the institution, the ETF, the moment the ETF come in, right, you can see that those days, right, Bitcoin only moved about 1,000 or 2,000 points. Now Bitcoin can move 5,000 or 10,000 points a day. It is like common. So that's why JDXBOT always evaluating this price range. All right, and we try to make sure to adjust the algorithm to meet this price range. So if we can, at the moment, right, I think 20 to 30,000 is what JDXBOT is being built. Okay, but if the market starts to become 40,000, 50,000, right, then we have to keep adjusting the algorithm to meet the conditions of the market. So that's why you can see, right, for the past 2 years, right, we have been optimizing the algorithm in such a way today we don't really actually worry about the price movement. If you ask me honestly, right, even as the owner of the strategy, I have more peace of mind now, all right, leaving JDXBOT, knowing that the algorithm is doing a great job. You see that? So this is important. Those days, right, I don't have the peace because I myself worry, what can happen to the partners, right? Because although, yes, okay, we have a disclaimer that we don't promise anyone I will not get liquidated and so on. But at the end of it, we still have the responsibility, right? You see, if you still have that in your heart to make sure that none of the partners get liquidated. You see that? So we want to do the best to make sure everyone is protected. So that's why I ask you the question, right? Which one do you prefer? You want your capital to be preserved, or you want profit and later on you get liquidated? Which is your choice? This is important, right? Because you cannot say I want both. No way, right? Because at certain time we can have the both, but at certain time when the market is volatile, you need to choose one. All right. So JDXBOT prioritize on preserving the capital of our user first, because we know what to do, right? I think some of you already had the experience, right? I think in September we waited. I think it's about 30 days, right? Market will float market, and then you were waiting for 30 days, and yet we closed with a total 30-day profit. How many of you remember that? All right, we did that. All right, we did that, right? It doesn't matter. So we still made 30% profit at the end of that 30 day. We still made that. You see that? So it's not about, so that's why some of you, I see some of your questions in the group, right? Oh, why am I not seeing a profit now these few days, right? It's not about you are not seeing the profit, okay? You just have to wait until the position close. But nevertheless, as I mentioned on Tuesday, right, we already made 16% net profit. If you ask me, 16% is like a month of your profit that you may be actually earning from another project. All right. So over here, you already made 16%. All right. Even if you don't make profit for the next, for the next few days, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter actually. Okay. But nevertheless, we will look into, that performance and so on later on. Okay. But I just want to help you to understand, guys, because this is what is trading is all about. Okay. So if you can understand the terminology or the analogy of the war zone, all right, then you will be able to understand where I'm coming from. Okay. Because in the war zone, it's all about tactical strategy. Right. And when come to the tactical strategy, your wallet management is critical. All right, it's very, very critical. So if you don't manage your wallet well, if you don't have the fund, even if you join any copy trading, guys, come on, you can get liquidated because you don't have the fund. Probably others are still alive, but you can get liquidated because you don't have the fund. All right, so that is the disadvantages that you can have when you are in the battlefield and you don't have enough ammunition, you don't have enough bullet, you are at a disadvantage. All right. So this is very, very important to understand. Okay. So that's why you see people are deceived by some of these exchanges. For example, right? Just take Bitget say you can come with a copy trading with $50. Now, everyone happy, right? Oh, I can start with a $50. But have you thought about the spare fund that you need? Did Bitget actually tell you how much spare fund is required? No. So can you just imagine those who are naive, they don't know, they just come in with a $50 and they think that everything will be fine. And then they get liquidated. Who are they going to blame? You see that? Because the problem is that these elite traders, right, who are providing, they might not really inform to any one of them that you need, to have a spare fund and you need to activate the auto top up. I think the only provider, JDXCopyMaster, is the only one that making this requirement known to everyone. You see that? So I'm not so sure, okay? Because I'm not so sure how many of you would probably have copied the other the other provider. All right, but here we make sure you understand. So that's why I told you, right? If you don't have the fund and you only got $50, you don't have the spare, and if you cannot even do an auto top up, then please don't join until you have the fund. All right. So this is important, right? So that's why I told you, right? If you come in with $50, make sure you have at least, right, $100, right? So that you can do at least 2 top up. If you can have 3 top up, fantastic, right? But at least you can do 2 top up. While you are doing the 2 top up, you can still prepare another $50 later on. Okay, now please understand, at the end of it, right, when the market reverses, when we close, all this money will return back to you. Nothing is lost. Only the waiting time. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, all right, great. Now let's just move on. Okay, let's just move on. I hope you guys are blessed. Okay, if you are blessed, put up there in the chat room, and if you are ready, put up yes, and let's get going. Okay, let's get going. If you are ready and you can see my slide, okay, put up yes over there. All right, and then we will get going. All right. Okay, guys, it's a 3rd week, right? This is the 3rd week of the month, and here we are with another AMA session. All right. So, first of all, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Truly appreciate you guys being here. I will get back to you and answer some of your questions later on. Okay, but let me just go through the presentation, and then if you have any questions later on, and if you have any insight that you want to find out and you want to know, right? So do get back to me. Okay. All right. Okay, great. Okay, great. So you are ready. Let's go. Now, these are the topics that I want to cover. First of all, I just want to give you a quick macro outlook of the market, all right, situation, right? Because you can see panic and fear, all right, is now gripping the market, all right, gripping the market. And we can also already see my prophecy is coming to fulfillment. The ETF, right, institutions, BlackRock, a lot of these institutions are actually dumping. All right, they are selling. All right. So as I mentioned to you, right, these are the very institutions that should be safeguarding us, but these are the very institutions that don't bother about any of us. All right, all that they think is their profit. Can you see that? So please understand that this industry, this economy is a greed driven. All right, it's a greed driven. These institutions are greedy. All right, it's a greed driven industry, guys. So they don't care about you. All right, they don't care about those who are holding or whatever. So because their goal is not store of value, their goal is profit and how they can deliver result to their stakeholders. All right, so you need to understand that this is very important, okay? Or else you will be following all the narrative of everyone else saying that buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. That is no longer the narrative. I already told you early of the year, right? The narrative has changed. It's no longer buy and hold. Now you need two assets, right? You need stable coin, you need Bitcoin. So as I mentioned, right, I don't know how many of you listened to what I told you, right? During the weekly global session, where you can use JDXBOT to actually swap your stable coin to Bitcoin when the price went down. So I don't know how many of you actually did that when the price went below 90,000. If anyone did that, please put in the chat room. I want to know. Then you are wise. All right, you are wise, because if you have done that, and when the price went up, okay, to around 93, right, 90 something, you would have already seen a gain over there. All right, you would have already seen a gain over there. Can you see that? So isn't that awesome, right? So once you see the gain, you convert to USDT, right? And then you wait for the price to go down again. So let's say if the price go down again, to 75,000, wow, you can actually do the same thing again, right? You can swap Bitcoin at 75,000. Now you got more Bitcoin. All right, so now please understand, I can only give you this kind of idea. That no one else wants to make you rich. Okay, please understand that. No one is interested with you. All right, but at JD Wealth Maker, I am interested with every one of you. So I'm giving you the same principle, the same strategy that I'm actually using so that you too can explore. All right, you too can explore. Okay, so I'm not so sure how many of you did that, but if you did that, congratulations to you. Okay, because you would have already seen the profit, right? So imagine Bitcoin price just shoot up, right, to around, I think, 91 or 92, right? So if you understand what is happening, then you can take advantage of this kind of, tactical strategy that is available here, right? So let me cover the market, and then I want to go through the JDCopyMaster transfer fund notification. Some of you, right, may have received a notification from BitGet that the copymaster actually have transfer fund. All right, so I'm going to explain that notification. What does that mean? So that you understand what needs to be done. And also the third one will be important. I want to show you how to determine your strategy fee allocation, all right, for JDXBOT. So I can see quite a number of people, right, their strategy fee is always depleted. It's a good news. If your strategy fee is depleted, it's a good news, right? Because you are making a lot of profit. It's a good news, but the problem is that you are not topping up. All right, you are taking that 20% and eating it yourself. All right, you need to put that 20% back. All right, so this is important. Or else, if your bot is deactivated, then you lose all your profit. All right, so I'm going to share with you, give you some idea how can you calculate to determine the strategy fee allocation. And then quickly we will go through the results update, just an update, October and November. And then I will take any questions or any clarification that is needed and so on. Okay, so that will be great. All right. Okay, now, first of all, let me just go through the market, okay, just to help you understand on the market. Now, as I already, I think this thing was made very clear, right? If we look into, what is happening, I think everything is just following based on the, historical data that we already plotted. All right, so now if you this is a weekly, right? So you can see that Bitcoin already hit high likely. Okay, I don't want to say it is already all-time high, because if you ask me, right, Bitcoin, it is not bearish yet, because it is not bearish yet. There is a chance for Bitcoin to redeem. All right, redeem herself. All right, Bitcoin can actually come back again. It can be bullish. All right, but nevertheless, we already hit about 126,296. Since then, okay, since then we saw the price coming down, right? Price came down and it hit around 88,483 yesterday. So that is a 30% correction already, right? Now, then we saw, right? You can see on this is the weekly, right? Sorry, this is the daily. You see that? It is basically, right, rejecting at this level. All right, rejecting at this level. So at the moment, we are waiting, right? We are waiting to see whether we will see a reversal, a pullback, all right, or the market can further go down. All right. Now, please understand that if the price continue to hit around 88, continue to hit, then it will get weakened. All right, it will get weakened. So the next level that we need to look forward is it will be 85,000. All right. Now, if 85,000 is broken, then we go for 75 or 74,000. All right. I personally think, right, that likely it may not go straight down to 74 or 75 yet. So what I'm expecting is that likely, right, we need to see, let me just put up a trend here. We need to see Bitcoin at least, right, at least, okay, it has to go above 94,000. All right, at least, okay, it has to go above the 94,000. All right, 94 or 95,000. Now, if Bitcoin can reclaim 94, 95,000, the next level I am anticipating is at least, okay, 109 or 110. Before we see a major, another major sell-off. Because at 109, 110, I believe there are a lot of sell orders are waiting. Okay, and also please understand that, okay, the institution may continue to take profit because we are moving towards the end of the year. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Mt. Gox has already sent probably 10 or 11,000 Bitcoin to the exchanges. They are waiting to sell. So that means they are waiting for the right price to sell. They may not want to sell now. All right. So this is basically what I'm anticipating. All right. So basically, what I am anticipating is that we at least, okay, need to go back here. And then we push up here. And then what can happen is that Bitcoin can actually come down back here. All right, back here. It can even go back here before the next big dump actually take place. All right. So this can be a scenario. So in this manner, right, what will happen is that when Bitcoin starts to move sideways here, this is going to disappoint and frustrate a lot of people. All right, because they are expecting for Bitcoin, to go all-time high, but I think this is one way to frustrate. So the market makers, right, will start to do this. The reason being is very simple, because they may wait for the liquidity. All right, they may want to wait for the liquidity before they even decide. All right, before they even decide whether they want to liquidate the up or the bottom. All right, so please understand that, because at the moment, a lot of the liquidity, right, if we go to the liquidity chart, a lot of the liquidity, let me just say 24 hours. So a lot of the liquidity, right, at the bottom is already taken. But you can see we still have, okay, around 88,500, about 42 million over there. And then we still have liquidity at the top. Let's go for 1 week and see what happened, right? All right, so you can see, can you see that liquidity at the top is building, right? So that's why I'm telling you guys that we might, high likely we could actually see the market maker pushing the price up, all right, because they will start to take the liquidity at this region. While they take this liquidity, then they will actually wait for the liquidity at the bottom to build up. All right, so they may play this game. All right, so this is the reason why you have to be very, very careful and always watch where the liquidity is. So the higher the liquidity, that's where the market makers will actually go to actually take this liquidity. So a lot of these, for example, right, this is at 97. That means that this is a short position already open. Okay, this is a basically can be a buy trigger, a short which is not open yet, All right, it is basically just waiting to open and so on, right? So these are some of the information that you need to know. All right, so just to let you understand, right, what is going on now. The other thing also, I think that we could see a pump and price can go up because the grid and index. Now, if you look, right, I think this is the first time ever in the history of Bitcoin we are seeing extreme fear, and we are already hitting, right, about 11. This is, I think, for the first time I'm seeing, right. I have never seen this scenario in the market, especially when it comes to crypto. And this is, I think, is too bad, all right, too bad. But nevertheless, extreme fear, anything below 20, right, is considered as fear, extreme fear, right? So now, that simply means that when it is an extreme fear, we will start to see buyers will start to come in, all right? So this could be another trigger or another confirmation, right, that we could actually see buyers are coming in. But nevertheless, we still have to wait, okay? We have to wait and see what happens, okay? What happens if the sell-off is going to continue, all right? Or we're going to start to see the reversal taking place, okay? But it is a huge relief, okay? It is a huge relief because yesterday, right, you saw that the price came down, and then we saw the price actually shoot up all the way, right? It went all the way to 93,000. That's why I told you guys, if you would have actually converted some of your USDT or USDC at this level, you would have actually made some gain. Can you see that? That is about 4,000, right? I think that is about 88 to around 93, about 4,000 points. All right, you would have actually made. You would have actually converted back your BTC to USDT at this level, and you would have actually made, you know, some profit just by the swapping of it. Now that is the beauty, right? That's the beauty of JDXBOT, because you have the option actually to earn all the three assets. Can you see that? So that's the beauty of it. Okay, so just take note, right? Okay, great. Now so that is basically just to give you an idea, right? I don't want to go too much, but just to give you an idea what is my expectation. All right, what am I looking at? All right, so I hope, all right, I hope that we will start to see buyers coming in. So at the moment, the problem is that we don't have enough volume. So if we go back to the volume, we don't really have enough volume. All right, volume is not enough to push the price up. All right, so we need to wait. Even on the 1 hour, you see, volume is down. All right, volume is down. So, so we need to wait, okay, to see, because if the money doesn't come in, then you cannot push the price up. All right, so either we wait for some news, okay, from the Trump administration, all right, some good news that can actually push the price up, or we start to see money start to flow into Bitcoin. Because at the moment, right, you can see, just a moment, let me bring you back, all right? Because if you look into the USDT, right, into the USDT, so this is another reason, right? You can see that money is actually flowing back into USDT dominance. So that simply means that high likely, right, a lot of the crypto users, right, those who are holding crypto, they are converting their altcoins and they are converting their Bitcoin and Ethereum, right, into USDT. All right, so as I mentioned to you guys, this is basically probably what is happening that is actually causing, you know, so when that happened, can you see that? When that happened, means that the Bitcoin price will come down. Okay, Bitcoin price will come down. So at the moment, right, you can see even USDT dominance already probably hit at the top here. So that's why you can see that if you look into the money flow here, right, it's already starting to come down. Now, this could be a good news for Bitcoin. If a USD dominance, right, starts to come down, that means that the money will start to flow back into Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin price will go up. All right. So this is some of the important correlation. All right, correlation between Bitcoin and USDT dominance, and also, you know, with the USDT, right, DXY index, which is the dollar index. Okay, you can also see the dollar is also going up. So that's the reason why a Bitcoin will suffer. All right. So every time you see dollar goes up, USDT dominance goes up, Bitcoin will suffer, right? But I'm with the opinion that high likely, okay, we will start to see a reversal, okay, quite soon, even with the DXY, with the dollar index. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so because I believe that the Trump administration may not really in favor of seeing dollar going up that fast. They have to keep the dollar index as low as possible, and then they want to push for the lower interest rate, so that they can take advantage to pay the 37 trillion debt. All right, so there is a massive, I believe, massive manipulation or massive scheme going around to maintain the dollar index at a certain level. That's why some countries you see their fiat is strengthening, like Malaysia, right? I think Malaysia currency is strengthening. Singapore currency is strengthening. Some currency is strengthening, not because the currency itself is strengthening, because the dollar is weakening. All right. So when the dollar starts to weaken, the currency in other country will start to strengthen. But when dollars start to strengthen, a lot of the country will start to suffer. All right. So that is basically the correlation. Okay, what is really happening. So that's the reason why watch this correlation between the dollar and also Bitcoin, because there is a opposite correlation between these two. Okay, so that's why I'm watching that. But nevertheless, I also believe that there is a lot of panic sell. Okay, so while the retails and some of the institutions are selling, please understand that the big whales are actually loading up. They are buying. All right. So you saw MicroStrategy buying. I think today we heard, some countries are already buying. All right. So you can see that they are just waiting for the right timing, for the right price to actually buy Bitcoin at a lower price. Okay, so just take note of that. All right. Any questions, okay, regarding to the market? Any questions before I proceed? Anyone? If you have, you can raise your hand at the bottom there. There's an icon there. Just to make sure that if you have any questions on that, I'm willing to answer or willing to give you my insight into it. Okay, or else I assume that you understand and we will proceed. Okay, can we proceed? Yes or no? Do we have any questions? Okay, can we proceed, guys? Are we okay? Can you hear me? Okay, all right, let's proceed then. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so that's basically just to give you, right, the macro perspective about the Bitcoin. Now, why am I actually explaining you or giving you the foresight or some of this idea? Because I am preparing you mentally. Okay, so that's the reason why, right? If you look into JD Wealth Maker community, no, actually, I am indirectly preparing you mentally so that you are ready if the price goes down or if the price goes up. And also, right, if you are like, example, if you are in JDXBOT, probably there is no worry because your fund is already locked in. But if you are with JDXCopyMaster, please understand that the top-up fund is not controlled by myself, right? It's controlled by you. So when you know the price that is going to move either up or down, at least you know that you need to start to prepare for your auto top-up. Okay, so this is important, okay? So that's why I told you guys, it's a partnership, right? So I am helping you, you are also helping me. So we are actually working together, right? We are working together. That's why there is no program can be successful if we don't work together as partners, all right? So that's why I want you to know, at least you know the macro perspective, where the market is going to move so that you can be prepared. Because for example, right, at the 88,000, I don't see there is a risk of our JDXCopyMaster anyone get liquidated. But if it goes to 85, high likely 1% or 2% can get liquidated if they don't top up or they don't have extra fund to top up. So if you know, right, if you know that it's going to go to 85, then you might want to already start to get ready, right? You might need to pay because you need minimum $50 for the auto top up, or else you cannot. Or if you really don't have $50 minimum for the auto top up, then you need to prepare to do manually. All right, you need to prepare to do manually as soon as possible, right? Because we have 85,000 and we got the 75,000. Now, if 85,000, probably, one or two get liquidated. But if it goes to 75, probably 5 or 6 can get liquidated. Can you see that? Especially those who don't have the fund for the auto top up, or they manually manage and probably they are not ready. They are sleeping or they are working and then they want to do manually, but they didn't auto top up. You see that? So that's the danger, right? So these are the things that I don't want to happen, because then you will be thinking that, oh, Dr. John David is not managing my position. Your position is managed, but the problem is that I cannot manage your fund. So you need to understand that. Okay, so that's why JDXBOT is easy to manage, because all the funds are locked in. If the user don't have enough main, sub, and strategy wallet, the bot will not activate. But for JDXCopyMaster, it's completely different. All right, so please understand that. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm continuously emphasizing on this, because fund management is going to be very critical. Okay, but also, right, this is a great opportunity because you can actually assess how many top up you need to do, because then you can be prepared for the future. So if, for example, right, I think some of us, right, can some of you put in the chat, how many of you already top up once or twice so far? Okay, auto top up. I'm talking about auto top up. Okay, not manual top up. So if you have set up the auto top up, can you put 1 or 2 in the chat room so that I know? Because some of you probably your first auto top up already triggered. For some of you, like my R&D bot, I think I already have my second auto top up trigger. You see that? Now, if you know that, it's great, because then in the future, you already know. All right, the maximum I need to prepare is 2 auto top up. Can you see that? So if it's 3 auto top up, then you know already, I need to prepare at least 3 for the extreme condition. So now this is a great assessment. Okay, this is a good time for you to assess at your site. Yeah, that's right. So the first top up is done, right? That is good, right? Because when your first top up is done, you can see your liquidation is pushed further away. All right. So like, because Sunny came in later, but those of you who were early, right? Your auto top up probably already 2. Am I right? You see that? Already 2, because my R&D bot is already twice auto top up. You see that? So I already prepared another $50 ready in case, right? In case if the market further goes down, then I will do that. That's right. I think so. Most of you already second auto top up. Even second auto top up, you can see your liquidation is far away. You see that? So this is a good time for you to assess, because when you assess, you evaluate, then you know already, all right, next time when all my positions are closed, I need to spare this amount of fund, because high likely if the market is volatile, then I will have enough fund for the auto top up. Can you see that? So this is brilliant, right? This is brilliant. Okay, so I'm doing my very best so that none of you get liquidated. Okay, but the thing is that you need to do your part to make sure that you have the fund ready for the auto top up. Now, if you don't have the 50, because auto top up minimum $50. All right. If you don't have $50, then you better top it up manually. All right. Do something about it. Yeah. So that you are protected. Because I don't, honestly, guys, let me just show you my face, right? Honestly, okay, those of you who know me, I don't like losing. All right. I am a winner. You understand me? I like everyone to win the battle. All right. I don't want anyone to lose because of your own negligence that you don't have sufficient bullet. You get me, right? So I am a winner. I don't give up no matter how far the enemy trying to drag me. I don't care. That's why we do cross margin. Cross margin means I can go as low as I can. As long as I have the fund, I will be able to retrieve back. and I will still come out victoriously as a winner. All right. So if you have the same mentality as a winner, then stay with me. All right. If you are the winner, then you have to stay with me. Okay. This is important. Okay. Now, if you are a loser, then you give up. All right. Then you give up. But if you are a winner, you need to have. It's not about how strong your body is. It's about how strong your mind is. Okay. If your mind is weak, you are not a winner in your mind. That is it. You are gone. Okay. So please understand. That's why we do cross. Cross means whatever amount I have, I can be protected as long as I have that amount. Okay. So that's why we don't use isolate. If we do isolated, a lot of you would already got liquidated. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, so the mindset is important. Okay, because I don't like losing. I have already lost a lot before when I start to trade. Okay, but now when I understand what trading is, when I understand leverage strategy, when I created my own strategy, the strategy is built not to lose. The strategy is built to win. All right, so if we are going to war together, let's win together. All right, so you need to understand my mindset. That's why sometimes I get disappointed or upset when someone tell me that they got liquidated. Simply because they don't have enough fun. All right, so I hope that doesn't happen, okay? I hope that doesn't happen. So if you're introducing someone to JDXCopyMaster, especially the JDXCopyMaster, please inform them this, okay? It's very important. Let them know, all right? I don't want them to, oh, $50, so cheap, I want to come in. Yes, it's cheap, but please understand, you can get liquidated. Market is brutal, guys. Market don't care about you. All right, market doesn't care about you. You can say, oh, I'm a student, I got no money, I just come here, put $50, I think that I will be blessed. Market don't care about you being blessed, you student, you engineer. Who cares about it? All right, market doesn't care, guys. Please understand that. Market will do everything possible to liquidate you. But here at JDXBOT and JDXCopyMaster, we're doing everything to safeguard your position. Can you understand me? So that's why stay, okay? Stay in the battle. Stay in the war zone until we walk out victoriously, okay? At the end of it, please understand, no matter how hard the enemy comes after you, it's all about wallet management. If you have enough bullet, you can stay true, you will win. That is it. Simple as that. Okay? Because this is tactical. Nothing to do with technical. You can see Bitcoin price going down. Bitcoin price doesn't care about the support and the resistance. Bitcoin doesn't care. You can say that there is a support there. Bitcoin must reverse. Bitcoin doesn't care. It just goes and break it. Bitcoin loves to break the rules. Bitcoin doesn't care about your technical bullshit. Can you understand me? So that's why be very careful with all this technical and so on, right? Some of this technical, you can't really believe to. Okay, so be very careful. That's why it's all about tactical. Okay, all right. So I hope that I understand, guys. So join me. Okay, I'm a winner. All right, I'm a winner. Right? If you want to win together, then you need to follow. You need to be strong in your mind. All right, so we can win together. Okay, so please understand that. That's why sometimes I remind you, top up, top up, top up. Why? Because if you stay, you can win. If you give up, this is it. I don't have enough. I'm going to give up. Then that is it. All right. So please understand. Okay. The rules and the tactical strategy here is completely different. Okay. All right. Please understand. Okay. Great. Now let's move on. Okay. Now the next is as I mentioned to you, right? I want to share with you this notification. Now, some of you, right now, may have, okay, I think most of you, if you are in JDXCopyMaster, you will receive this notification from BitGet. Now, this notification is to notify you that JDXCopyMaster, okay, my master account has done the top up. Okay, so you can see here, right? It will mention to you. All right, it will mention. See that? We wanted to give you an important update to your copy trading account. Our elite trader, JDXCopyMaster, whom you are copying, has recently increased the account balance by 55%. You see that? So now, what it's trying to say is that to ensure your copy trading experience stays on track, we suggest that you also increase your investment by the same percentage. And then it will tell you your current copy trading account equity is $95. This is my R&D. All right, you should consider adding another 53 to match. Here that is already given you the 55%. So to match the elite trader latest asset allocation. All right, so you will receive this. Okay, if I top up, I think so far I have only done one top up for my master account. All right, so you should have received this email notifying you. But please understand, this email or this notification applies only if you are topping up manually. If you are topping up auto top up, you can ignore this message. All right, and why I ask you to do auto top up? Because please understand, this email or notification is lagging. It's not real time. You only receive this notification after 24 hours I did the top up. So it is too late. But if you do auto top up, your auto top up will take place in real time. So you don't need to worry. All right. So only sent by BitGet after the fund is transferred by JD and not in real time. Therefore, it is highly recommended to enable the auto top-up. If auto top-up is enabled, copier may ignore this notification. All right? So you don't need to worry. If you already have the auto top-up, your auto top-up is working. All right? You already done the first auto top-up, and then you have your second auto top-up based on the rule that I've already explained to you last week, right? I already told you, right, what you need to do for your auto top-up. All right? So you set your auto top up, right? Let me just go back to, let me see if I can bring you back to, all right, so that we can just review this again, right? So if you tap the copy here, it will bring you to your copier, right? So over here, you can see the detail. So if you add the fund, tap the add the fund. Now you see that? So the auto top up, right? This is for $50 account. So for $50 account, the auto top up, I set it at 50%. So that means for a $50, if my available balance reduced to $25, 50%, it will trigger an auto top up of $50. You see that? It will trigger an auto top up of $50. So currently, 2 auto top up already triggered. You see that? 2 auto top up. So that's why you can see, right? My total investment here, right? You will see the total investment is actually $150. Because my first amount is $50, right? When I started the bot, then the first top up happened at $25, 50%. So $50 was top up. Then the next top up, the second top up happened also at 50 at $25. Then the next top up happened. So the total so far I have invested is $150 actually. The $5 was taken out because of the auto profit taking, right? Which I told you not to activate that anymore, right? So you can see $150. So now if, right, currently, right, if you look into my available balance is 61. So when will be the next top up? When this reaches 25, right? Can you see that? It's a long way, guys. It's a long way. If you look into, can you see all is no liquidation? All is no liquidation. So the second auto top up currently showing me I will never get liquidated no matter what happened. Can you see that? There is no liquidation price. So do I worry about my floating? I don't worry because what comes down will go up. So when the price goes up, all right, when the price goes up, later I will close the long. That's why you see the long order size is bigger than the short. All right, so that's why you don't go and close it manually, guys. This is a hedging. So if it's a hedging, then you see BTC must have 2 positions long and short. Ethereum will have 2 positions long and short. So you don't need to worry about this ROE percentage. This means nothing. All that we are waiting is for the price to reverse. So what I'm waiting now is for the Ether because Ether, my average entry price is around 3,300. Yours can be 3,004. Some can be 3,005. All right. So if it goes up again to the 3,400, 3,500, I will then close the long position for the Ether. You see that? And after that, I will close the short. All right, so you don't need to do anything. You just have to manage your available balance. All right, so to manage the available balance, make sure. So if you have if you started with $100, then when available balance fall below $50, because remember 50%. So if you start with $1,000, then when it reaches 500, your auto top up will activate. So when it reaches 500, make sure you got another 500 there. You see that? So that is how it works. If you follow this rule, everyone, I believe, will see no liquidation. But if you don't follow that rule, then some of you will see the liquidation price. Although the price is far away, not a big deal. But why you will see the liquidation price? Because you may not follow the rule that I've actually recommended to you. Can you understand me? All right. So because I know there are smart people that don't want to put the fund there. All right. Because you are so worried that you get liquidated, right? That is up to you. Okay. But nevertheless, right, that is what I want to show to you. So I hope you understand. All right. I hope you understand. Okay. Great. Okay, I will answer some questions later on. Okay. Okay. Now let's just get back to the slide. Okay. Okay, so I hope you understand, guys, okay, about this notification, okay? So for those of you auto top up, you don't need to worry about this notification because your auto top up will take place at this predetermined time, all right? But if you are doing a manual, all right, then I can't say much. Then you better follow this notification. If I top up, you better top up, all right? But the problem is that this is a lagging, all right? It is, I think you will only receive it after 24 hours. All right. So because of that, right, it is always good to do an auto top up. Right. Okay. Now, next, how to determine the strategy fee allocation in the JDXBOT strategy wallet. Now, this is also a big confusion for a lot of you in JDXBOT. All right. Now, if you look right throughout the documents, right, if you look into the getting started guide, getting started checkpoint, I think we already put up. And even in the FAQ, all right, I've already put up clearly that you need to maintain at least 10% monthly of your total main futures trading fund in your strategy wallet for uninterrupted deduction, okay? Deduction of the strategy fee. Example, right? If your total main futures account is funded 300, remember, read carefully, guys. I put the word total there. Total means USDT plus USDC plus BTC. Because your strategy wallet is a total. All right. Your strategy wallet, only one wallet. It will deduct for all the three strategies. Okay. So you allocate a monthly minimum of 30, right? In this example, if I funded total 300, 10% will be 30. So means I need to maintain $30. All right, into your strategy wallet for the strategy fee deduction. Now, let me explain to you how we derive the 10% so that at least you know, all right, the justification behind the 10%, right? Now, remember, right, I told you, I shared with you the October result. All right, the October result, if you look, right, into our realized profit is 40%. All right, it's 42%. Now, let me just take 40%. All right, so this is, I'm making an assumption, okay? So let's say every month, the realized profit, not the net, the realized profit means before the deduction of the strategy fee. So 40%. Now, so for a total main account, right? If let's say, right, if my total main account is $3,000, that means USDT 1,000, USDC 1,000, BTC 1,000, the monthly realized profit of 40% would be 1,200. Am I right? So that will be my realized profit if I have a $3,000 equity. Now, so my net profit at 75% will be 900 from the 1,200. My net profit will be 75-25, right? So 75% means the partners will make 900. the strategy fee at 25% will be 300. So now, can you see? Therefore, the monthly strategy fee allocation would be how much? 300 at 25% divided by 3,000 total equity. That will be 10% monthly. You see that? So simple, right? So means it's easy to explain to anyone, right? Whatever total amount of their funding, all right, whatever total amount of their funding in their main account, you don't need to include the sum. Okay, the main account. Okay, you take the main account total 10%. You make sure you maintain your strategy wallet. That's all. Simple as that. Okay, yeah, please understand, because when you receive the profit, it is realized profit sitting in your BitGet account without deduction yet. Deduction only take place in the strategy wallet. So that means the 25% is also sitting in your BitGet. So that's why don't eat the 25%. Okay, put aside the 25% so that you can transfer to the strategy wallet. So you can do it every month if you allocate 10%. So you don't have to be topping up every week, every time, right? Don't have to. All right. And then the other thing is that, remember, you can set up the balance reminder, right? You can set the balance reminder so that you are reminded. So if you say, okay, I have a $300, but I'm going to set a reminder at 100. So when it reaches the 100, I will be reminded. So I will top up another 200 immediately to make sure I have 300 every time I receive the reminder. So in that way, right, your strategy wallet is always, okay, is always available and ready for the deduction. Okay, I hope this is helpful, right? Simple, right? So this is a very simple explanation, and I hope this is helpful for everyone to understand what needs to be done in terms of maintaining your, your strategy wallet, okay, fees. Okay, this is important. Okay, now as I mentioned, right, some even give a suggestion that why do we need a strategy wallet? Why don't deduct, straight away from the BitGet? We can't do that, right? I already explained to you during the weekly, that we can't do that because of the trust issue, right? Because if you do in BitGet, then you have to give the API permission for withdrawal to JDXBOT, which is, I don't think so anyone wants to do that. So remember, right, when we did the soft launch, we had this problem. And then we actually changed, right? We actually introduced a strategy wallet so that deduction will take place separately in strategy wallet without actually interrupting or accessing the user's BitGet account. So it's a trust issue. All right. So because of that, right, a lot of the users start to join JDXBOT because now they see that we don't have access to their fund anymore. All right. So the changes has been done. So now we got a strategy wallet. So now it is the users or the partner's responsibility to make sure that the strategy wallet, fund is allocated. Okay, it's like a prepaid, right? You have to preload the fund and get it ready so that every month, okay, you have that 10%. So it's very simple, okay? Now, the other thing is that also be careful. Sometimes you may change the amount in your main account, right? If you change the amount higher, then you have to make sure you top up your strategy wallet according to your main account. So let's say you started with 3,000, right, in your main account, and you say, I want to now top up. I want to change the main account. I want to make it 6,000. All right. So if you do it 6,000, then your 10% now will be different. So you need to make sure you have 600 available in your strategy wallet. Okay. So please understand. Okay. And also please understand that this 10% is actually is a strategy fee from your realized profit. So the realized profit is sitting in your spot account. All right. That money, that profit that you are making is a realized. You are holding JDXBOT income. Remember that. You are holding JDXBOT strategy fee or the partner's fee. All right. So you need to release that partner fees back into the strategy wallet for the deduction to take place. Okay. So this is what its partnership is all about. Okay. So, so far I don't see any issues. All right. But I just want to make sure that this fee allocation idea is clear so that it is now made it easier, right? So you know, follow the main account. Whatever the main account total, okay, total means USDT plus USDC plus BTC. Total, you take 10% of it, okay? 10% must be made available in your strategy wallet. Simple, all right? So this is clear, right? So this is basically how you determine the strategy fee allocation for your JDXBOT strategy wallet. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. Okay, now the last one is that just very quickly, okay? Just very quickly, I want to recap because what I want to try to do is that probably, right, every month, okay, we will be monitoring in terms of the net profit of JDXBOT, but please understand that this is based on our R&D bot, okay? Because we may not be able to, monitor each of the bot, but we have the total bot performance in JDXBOT, but this is only for the R&D bot, okay? Now, if you look, right, for the month of October, the net profit is around 32%. Now, if you look, okay, the most important thing is the average daily, right? So the average daily for 31 days is around 1%. So you can see over here, for the month of October, the realized is 42%. That is awesome. You won't get anywhere else, okay? Because in many other, products, or system, they give you the net 32% as your realized. And then they take 50 or 60%. But here, we don't do that. All right, we don't do that. Okay, we actually give you the realized profit, and from there, right, then only the net profit we share. All right, but many companies, they will do the net profit and then share with you. Okay, so that means you will earn less. But here, we want you to earn more because our goal is to empower ordinary people to generate extraordinary income. All right. So you can see for the October, right, 31 days, 42%, average is around 1.4%. So the net profit, 32%, that is after deduction of all the fees. So the average is around 1%. Now, November is only 16 days. Okay, we have not completed yet. We got 30 days. We only done 16 days. So far, it's 21%. But I want you to look at the average. The average is quite consistent, 1.3%. The net profit average is 1%. So we are consistent for the past 16 days. All right. So that is basically just to show you. So once the month of November ends, 30 days, right? Then we will be able to see what will be our total net profit and also the average in terms of the daily average performance. Okay. Now, if we can get around 0.9 to 1%, I think we are very, very good. All right. It is exceptional. Okay. These results can be very extraordinary. So that means we know, right? If we can monitor this for the next probably until December, so we will have a 3 months data. So we will roughly know, right, that JDXBOT can deliver up to 1%, okay, net profit, right, every day. Can you see that? So that is the data that we are collecting. So that's why we don't promise that anyone will make 1%. No, we don't promise. All right. But whatever the market wants to bless you, you take it, right? So for example, right now we've been floating for 5-6 days, right? But do you know the amount of the order size that is there? That is huge. When it closes, it can be 5% or 6% when it closes. All right, so that can be huge. Okay, but nevertheless, let's monitor. Okay, let's together monitor the performance because I always want to justify the number based on the actual data. All right, so if we can get a 3 months data, that will be great. And then next year we can have 12 months data, right? So that means that we will have a solid data, okay, for JDXBOT performance, and this is based on the new strategy. Okay, this is based on the new strategy. So that's the reason why when people ask me about the old performance, I can't share with them because no point. It's an old strategy, right? So we just started new strategy in October. So it will be better to actually collect the data for the month of October onwards, to see the consistency of the performance of the bot. Now, also as I mentioned to you guys, please understand 2 important criteria that determine the performance, right? Number one, the strategy. Number two is the market. Okay, sometimes, right, if you look, right, we have one of the best strategy. But best strategy also must be accompanied with the correct market condition. All right, so that's why October, I think the market and the strategy was match made in heaven. But November, you can see, right, now we have a price actually skewed downward. It's like we are already like close to 20,000 points, right? 20,000 points. So we are waiting for the reversal. So it's all about strategy. You can have the best strategy. You also need to have the best market condition. If we can have both of these, then JDXBOT will continuously deliver significant results. Okay, but nevertheless, if we have the best strategy and the market is volatile or market is fluctuating, uncertain, there is no issue as long as the strategy is able to safeguard the position. Okay, so that is important. Okay, so as long your capital is safeguarded, you don't need to worry. All right, that is the most important. So that this is the most, I think, top priority, right, for JDXBOT, because we want to preserve the capital. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, great. All right, so that is basically just to give you, the clear understanding here today with this AMA session. So first of all, it's about the market. At least you have an idea where is the downside target, where is an upside target. Then the second thing I explained to you about the BitGet notification on the CopyMasters, fund. Okay, when I top up my fund, you get a notification. So now you know what to do. And then I explained to you about the strategy fee, how to allocate your strategy fee. So I hope that will clear, right? So when this video goes out, I might actually do a shorter video, for each of the session that I explained, so that people can watch that video. All right. And also, last but not least, I share with you, the performance tracking. So we want to continue to track. So hopefully everything falls, in our favor, so that continuously our community will be able to start to generate profit, okay, from this point. Okay, so that's the reason why, guys, we need a money making machine. I think we have the money making machine here. Okay, so we just have to have patience sometime, okay, to wait for the market. When the market is volatile, sometimes we wait for the reversal. Okay, so please take note, because I know that most of the position average, okay, is entry price is around 98,000. So that means that currently the price is around 91, right? 91, 92. Come on, 5,000-6,000 is not a big deal for the market. If a big buyer suddenly comes in, a whale comes in, they push the price up 5,000 points overnight. It can happen. All right, so just wait. Okay, just wait, because it will happen. Okay, all right. Okay, any questions? Yeah, anything that you would like to clarify before we adjourn the meeting today? There's one question. What is the potential impact on BTC if miners switch their infrastructure to AI? I don't see any impact, because mining still has to go on. Yeah, mining still have to go on. So you still need miners to mine. Yeah, so because please understand, okay, miners' role is to validate and also approve the transaction in the blockchain. So that is the role of the miner. So if the mining machine integrated with AI, probably much better, right? Much better. But the thing is that will not affect Bitcoin. Probably it will actually improve the efficiency of Bitcoin. But nevertheless, even if it is a high-tech machine, that is one Bitcoin will only be released every 10 minutes. All right, so there is there is no way anyone can manipulate the protocol of Bitcoin. Okay, no one can manipulate the protocol that is already there. Okay, so I don't see there will be much, because please understand that, okay, miners will only be affected when 21 million is fully minted. Because once it is fully minted, miners will only rely on the transaction fees. Okay, currently miner is relying on the Bitcoin, because if the miners are the first one who solve this, this mathematical problem, right? They are the one who validate. They are the one who actually register the Bitcoin into the blockchain. First, they will be rewarded with Bitcoin. So when they are rewarded with Bitcoin, they are holding that Bitcoin. So now the reward starts with 50. Okay, please understand, when Bitcoin started in 2008, the reward was 50. So any miners who mine and actually validate the transaction first, they are rewarded with 50 Bitcoin. Okay. Then after 4 years, remember the 4-year cycle, right? So this is called the Bitcoin ecosystem. Okay. So the 4-year cycle, from 50, it becomes 25. Then after 4 years, 25 become 12. The halving, that is what we call halving, right? The Bitcoin reward is half. So now the miners are earning less, but Bitcoin price is greater, right? In 2008, probably the price of Bitcoin is less than 10 cents, but they earn 50 Bitcoin. But second halving, 2008, that is 2012, right? 2012, they now earn 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Then 2016, the next halving, they earn 12.5. You see that now it is already, I think they're only earning about 3.75 or something, 3.675 or something. So this is how, the inflationary mode of Bitcoin, and that is the reason why the supply of Bitcoin is reduced. All right, it's reduced every cycle, reduced by half every cycle. So now when the supply is reduced every cycle, the miners may need greater capacity and efficiency of the machine to mine, okay? And if they have the biggest capacity, that's why they need a lot of capex, capital expenditure, all right? Because they need to continuously maintain the efficiency of the mining equipment, all right? So the cost is getting greater and greater. So that's the reason why the unit cost to create one Bitcoin probably will cost them about let's say maybe 60,000 or 70,000. So as long Bitcoin is above that unit cost, it's fine. All right, so it's fine. But when the cost goes down, then a lot of these miners will be at loss. So, but when the 21 million is completely minted, there is no more reward. So how do miners make money? Through the transaction. All right, through the transaction fees only. So high likely at that point of time, transaction fees can go up. And also please understand, at that point of time, there won't be many miners, because if you're only earning transaction fees, you can't sustain your infrastructure. All right, so AI can help in terms of the efficiency to improve the efficiency, but that will not affect in terms of the Bitcoin protocol. Protocols are fixed. You cannot say that previously I do 1 Bitcoin 10 minutes. Now I want 1 Bitcoin 1 minute. You can't change the protocol. It cannot be, right? It will never happen, okay? So please understand that, okay? All right, great. Yes, Aruna, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, yes. Good day, sir.
Good day to you. Go ahead.
Because I have a network problem over here, and I first of all I want to appreciate the work you are doing, and we really thank the effort that you are putting concerning the team and concerning the business. We are very grateful and we are very happy. The question I want you to clarify on the issue of JDXCopyMaster, the record, like that of JDXBOT. You are giving us the record of what is happening previously, October to this November. Do we really have a record on this the performances on the JDCopyMaster?
Not yet, because we have not closed the current floating position.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so once we close the current floating position, then only I'll be able to release any kind of report on the performance of the copymaster. Because currently, right, the profit is there, but BitGet cannot release the profit until the positions are closed.
Okay, sir.
All right. I think I already put up a write-up. I already put up a write-up and explained about the floating and the unrealized profit and so on in the group. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I will provide.
Very
Let's hope for the market to reverse, and then once we close the position, then everyone will see the profit, and then we will have the report. Okay, definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. Okay, great. Now let's go. Yes, Obong, please unmute yourself.
Dr. JD, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm in transit. All I will say is on behalf of JDXBOT Nigeria, I really appreciate what you are doing. And I would love you to keep doing what you are doing. Please, no distraction. It's not easy starting from November 2023, beta testing till we get to now that we have 100% win rate. So we really appreciate what you are doing to this global team. Empowering ordinary people to generate extraordinary income is not easy. It's a humanitarian services that you are doing. So please stay focused. We really appreciate what you are doing. I'm personally surprised because each time I called you, you are ever ready to respond, and I really appreciate what is happening. Currently, we are also receiving emails on the BTC, like my own that it dropped when I called you, and that's a good thing. So I'm happy. You know, I'm the happiest person that we have this success. So team, I just pray that the entire team, everybody will give you all the support you need. But for us in Nigeria, we'll give you all the support that you need. We really appreciate all what you are doing. So God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very, very much. And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Obong. Now, what I think this is a very good point that is raised by Obong, right? Now, if you would have noticed, right, some of the JDXBOT may have received a critical alert trigger email yesterday. Okay, some of you. All right. Now, as I mentioned, right, your critical alert trigger will only happen if your main account available balance is below 50%. All right. Now, it only happened for Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin price is going down. It didn't happen for USDT. It didn't happen for stable coin. It only happened for Bitcoin. That's why you must be a bit careful with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin price always can be pulled down. But if the price goes up, then your available balance will be greater in USD value because the price is up. Now, just on that note, right, let me bring you to the bot, okay? Let's check it out, okay? Now you see, right? Now you can see here, right? I want to give you guys some understanding, right? If you look into the available balance, right? My USDT available balance is 1,259. Now, you might be wondering, hey, I thought your capital is 1,000. Yes, my capital is 1,000, but when the market go against us, remember, right? We got the DCA. All right, we got the DCA taking place. So when the DCA take place, remember I told you that every time the DCA take place, that amount of DCA will be replenished from the sub account. So now it will continue to replenish. So that's why you will see that your main account will show a greater amount, because all your fund from the sub account is now sitting in your main account. Now, please understand that this available balance also determine your estimate liquidation. So that's why you cannot go and remove this, okay? As long as this account is still active and running, don't go and remove any of this fund. There is no problem here. This is as per design. All right, there is nothing to correct. So just leave as it is, because this amount is the one that ensures your liquidation is actually kept further away. So currently, you see this bot, the liquidation is around 20,000 points. So I can't get liquidated if Bitcoin doesn't go to 71,000. All right. So now, if I look into my BTC, right? Let's go to BTC. So if I go BTC, now can you see my BTC amount can be lower than my USDT amount? All right, it can be even 70% now. I think so, 70 or 80%. All right, but it doesn't matter. So if this amount, my available balance reach 50%, then I will receive a critical alert to tell you that your main account is now below 50%. So you can go and top up your sub account. Now, please understand that when your available balance in your main account starts to get lesser and lesser, your liquidation will get closer and closer. So when you go and top up your sub account, what happened? You will stop the critical. Now, please understand, okay? Critical alert will trigger as long as it is below 50%. And it will trigger every hour. Okay, but please understand, 50% is an early alert. It's not really critical. It's just an early alert so that you can prepare. All right, now, as what I see, right, currently, the price, right, from the original entry price, we are about maybe 20,000 or 22,000 points away. But we don't find that problem for USDT and USDC. Let's go to see USDC. See, USDC is fine. So, we don't see the problem for USDT and USDC. We only see the problem, it pulls right greater down now, only BTC, because BTC price is going down. Can you see that? So that's all. So all that you need to manage when you receive that email is the BTC. That's all. Can you understand me? So simple as that. Now, please don't worry, okay? So when you top up your let's say you reach the 50% level, and you don't want to take the risk, you just want to top it up. So you top up your sub account. Now, when you top up your sub account, what happened? The algorithm will check your main account, and if your main account below 50%, it will automatically top up. Sometimes it will top up all your sub account amount. All right, it will top up. Then your sub account will be empty again. It doesn't matter because all your fund is now sitting in your main account. So all that you need to, when you see that, you can see it is in your main account, but you will also see your liquidation is pushed further away. All right, so that's how basically this strategy works. Okay, so now when the market close, right? When it close, don't worry, because all the amount that is replenished to the main account, it will now be normalized, returned back to your sub account. And then a new position will start to open, or a new cycle will open. That's all. That's how it works. All right. Now, in some instances, right, there can be some technical glitches whereby you suddenly see that, hey, why my main account is zero? All my fund is now shifted to my sub account. Don't worry. You just do a manual transfer again, all right, to your main account and set everything back, and then you just wait for the bot to be activated. So there is no big deal. You have not lost any of your fund. It's just that due to some API technicality and so on, not everyone faces the same problem. All right. There can be one or two people going through that problem. And then when they reach out, we find out that their futures account fund is actually all been sent to their sub account. So you just have to adjust back the fund, everything normalized, then you just wait for the bot to get activated. Okay, so please understand that, because when your main account has no fund or insufficient fund, you will receive the email, right? You will receive the email from JDXBOT notifying you that your main futures account fund is insufficient. So when you see that, then you, hey, how can insufficient? I already put it in now. Then you know already. High likely the fund is already transferred to the sub account. Okay, so then you just go and adjust it. So it's not a big deal, guys. Take it easy, okay? You have not lost anything, all right? But sometimes for Bitcoin, just be very careful, okay? Because Bitcoin, when the price goes down, the value, right? The value can be different. That's why when I tell you put $100, don't put $100 exactly. You may want to put slightly more for Bitcoin. Add another $5, okay? Because Bitcoin is a bit sensitive to the price movement or the volatility of the market. because of the fluctuation. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, any other questions, guys? All right, I hope you guys are learning, right? That's why this AMA session is very, very important. All right. So any other questions, any other clarifications? I hope that you are learning. All right. I hope that you are blessed with some of this important insight that we are sharing with you. All right. Okay. So if there's no question, then I trust that today's session has been helpful. All right. So go through this video later on, and I'm also will be probably making a short video so that, like example, the strategy fee, right? Maybe there will be a short video so that people can just watch a 5-10 minutes video on that, and they will then understand how to go about it and so on. Okay. So with that, guys, thank you so much, okay, for your time. Truly appreciate that. We will catch up next week. All right, Tuesday, for the weekly. Do invite, okay? If you have new prospect, you want to share them JDXBOT, please do so. Invite them so that they can come and listen to me. All right, so that they can understand exactly, all right, what is going on, and if they have any question, they can ask me and so on. All right, I think because soon we're going to open up to the public. Once we open to the public, then I'm targeting for the 300 spots to be taken, and also we are targeting our asset. Currently, we are managing about $200,000. So we want to increase that by 5 times to 1 million, right? To 1 million. So that is our goal. So once we hit the 300 users and 1 million, and then we will actually stop any new, referrals. Okay. So because we want to make sure that we control 300 users to meet the infrastructure and capacity, but also 300 users is easily manageable in the Telegram, so that I can communicate with everyone and manage everyone, because we don't want to open to everyone and then we cannot manage. All right. So that is what we want to do. Okay. So at the moment, JDXBOT is running automated. So there is not much intervention even from our technical team, because everything is autonomous. We try to, so in the future, probably we will assign an AI to take care of JDXBOT. So we are studying on that. So we can have an AI agent, actually taking care of everything. But at the moment, if any user follows the checkpoint, the 13 checkpoint, and they follow the step-by-step guide in the getting started guide, I don't see any one of them having problem of getting their bot activated. All right. So we had yesterday, another person came on board. All the 3 bots is running without any interference. Okay. So in case if there's an error, they receive an email telling them that their fund is insufficient. They just have to top up the fund, and then the bot will be activated. All right. So it's interesting, guys. Things are getting real interesting. So let's pray and believe that the market will reverse. I believe it will reverse. All right. Now I don't mind when the price goes down, because it will go up. I only mind when it goes up because it's difficult to come down. All right, so please understand that. Okay, when it is down, it can go up, but when it is up, sometimes it takes time to come down. Okay, so that is what basically happened. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's right. So that's why you see Bitcoin price is actually shooting, right? I think the price is going up because we have the non-pay. Let me just see that. Oh, it just went up and came down. Is it? Just a moment. Oh, sorry. That is see that DXY coming down, guys. If DXY comes down, I told you, right? Look at it. DXY is dumping. Wow. So if DXY is dumping, right, then you see what happened to Bitcoin. Let's go and see. Bitcoin will go up, you see? How about USDT? USDT is also coming down. So you can see, right? DXY is coming down now. Okay, from here, it just came down. So this is the correlation. Okay, so let's see, okay, what will happen. But sometimes these are just a reaction because the market, the report just came out, and sometimes it will then reverse back. Okay, so it's always danger. Okay, so we just have to wait and see what happens. Okay. Okay, but nevertheless, that's why always important. Okay, Bitcoin always move with the market news. As I mentioned to you, Bitcoin is behavior driven. all right, behavior driven. So the holder will sell when it's a bad news, they will buy when it is a good news. That's why Trump is smart. Trump always come out with bad news to bring the market down. He also come out with the good news later on. They might already have insiders who are buying and so on. Okay, guys. With that, God bless each and every one of you. We will catch up again. All right, take care. Bye bye.